Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 career mode here with Stoke City. We are back today after what has been a really good start to the campaign for Stoke, and we've got loads to crack on with today, including match days 2 and 3 of the UEFA Europa Conference League, more big games in the Premier League, and also our clash away at Goodison Park in the Carabao Cup. So loads to dive into. Let's jump into our first game here as we host Southampton at the Britannia, looking to continue what has been a fantastic start in the Premier League. Come on the Potters. Yeah, first game of the episode here, and the first game in about 10 days or so for me as I've been away on holiday in Cyprus. I did put a post out whilst I was away and had some lovely comments from you guys, but I'm hoping we can get off to a good start here as that's a good save and cleared away. It's been a fantastic start to the season for Stoke, and whilst there has been a couple of videos this week, this is the first game that I'm playing since I've got back from my holiday. A million has got us off to the perfect start. Yeah, quite a favourable first game to jump back in with as well. No disrespect to the Saints, but struggling down towards the bottom of the table to kick off this season, as that's beautifully worked, and Elanga drills in the second, and I thought it might take me a game or two to get going, but 2-0 up here and looking as if we're going to kick off today's episode with a victory. Well, the perfect way to kick off today's episode with a victory, and a great way for me to jump back into this career mode save as well. A 2-0 win, a first goal in Stoke City colours for Anthony Elanga as well, and a great win to kick off the episode. Loads of games today, so we're just going to keep things rolling. Yeah, of course, fighting on 4 fronts this season, and we'll be taking on the side that we will face in the EFL Cup last 16, but taking them on in the league here as we travel to Goodison Park in what has been a near perfect start to the season. Looking to get another victory here and continue our winning start to the episode. Come on the Potters. Well, you might think playing career mode and playing games consistently will help you play better in the long run, but I actually think a break might have helped me out here, as I feel like I'm playing some decent football, waiting for those opportunities as Oscarson, right on cue, drills in the opening goal, and we lead again, this time on the road at Goodison Park. And Dye down the left, swings across in dangerous. Boz is not goal side. And the Everton man, I think it's Akliouche, the Monaco man, gets his head to it. He's stuck in the goal, but he heads Everton level. Trouble here, Beto. Slides it through the gap to Ndai. Already has 1 assist to his name today. Ndai pegs it back, and there's Beto letting fly. And that is not far away as Everton come out in this second half with a point to prove. Danilo, how did we not win that back? Danger. Sierra comes forward, looking to prod it through to Castro. Strike comes in. Oh, it's off the post. Does that seem to whistle along the turf? And I think it might have taken a deflection, but either way, a huge let-off for Stoke. And now we come forward with Saints, bides his time, finds Oscarson! And from one end to the other, so nearly a goal down, and now a goal up through the Iceman. Well, there's the whistle all over here at Goodison Park, and what a game as well. Both sides could have won it, as we saw Everton have a couple of chances hitting the post before Oscarson scored his second goal and the winning goal with around 10 to play. Big win to keep our momentum going in the Premier League, and we're just going to jump straight into our next game. Speaking of keeping momentum, it was a win on match day 1 of the Conference League, and now our first home game of the competition as we take on Hearts, looking to make it 2 wins from 2. Come on the Potters. Armstrong runs into Juranovic, and now Marco Asensio and Dahoud. We've got a lot of European experience in this team. And Sarmiento now into Lewis Skelly. What a performance he had at the Bernabeu the other night. Speaking of European experience, the kid plays like he's got loads of it as Asensio, who nearly knocked his parent club PSG out of the Champions League, or had the chance to help do so. But playing here in the Conference League for Stoke City and scoring, I believe, his first goal for the club. Yeah, only leading by 1 here as we're into the second half. And we're sort of adopting the Enzo Maresca Chelsea style of play in the Conference League, where we've got the Premier League lineup and the Premier League squad and then the Conference League squad. And, you know, it gives these players an opportunity to work their way into the Premier League squad, but it does slightly disrupt the rhythm as Hearts look for an equaliser, and a big save now by Bilal after the stop by the Hearts keeper. It can disrupt your fluidity when you're chopping and changing every few games. Dahoud pinches it, and Dahoud round the corner for Sidibe. Oh, what a strike! And the kid, Sol Sidibe, with his first goal for the club. Dahoud pinches it high up the pitch. I was hoping for that second goal just to kill off the game, and Sidibe with an absolute rocket to double the lead and surely give us the win. Yeah, only the 2 goals tonight, but a pretty comfortable win for Stoke City once again. 2 wins from 2 in the Conference League, and a first clean sheet for Bilal in the competition as well. You love to see it. And again, we're just going to dive straight into our next game. I said about keeping that momentum and that fluidity, heading back to matters in the Premier League as we take on West Ham United. Another tough game, but at home once again at the Britannia, looking for another 3 points. Come on, the Potters. Mendes for West Ham, looking to go all the way through. Bassi brings him down and could be in trouble here. What colour's the card going to be? There were covering defenders around him, but it's red. Oh dearie me. Stoke City down to 10 men as Mendes looked to race through, and Bassi brings him down cynically. And with around 80 minutes to play, we're going to have to face West Ham with 10 men. And now we've got this free kick to contend with as well. Theo Hernandez, it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. And the West Ham skipper, Theo Hernandez, opens the scoring, and we could be set for just our second league defeat of the campaign. Well, having lost Calvin Bassi to the red card, Flamingo's now hit the deck, and he did stay down for a period of time. Got back to his feet now, but could be losing both of our central defenders as Aarons comes forward down the right. No Million ahead of him now, but he finds Oscarson, and the Iceman gets half a yard, and he doesn't need much more as Oscarson drills us level, and even with 10 men we find a way to fight back. This could be an absolutely crazy game. We saw a few manic ones at the end of the previous episode, and we could be on for another here as Boz does well. Finds Sainz, comes in field, brilliant from Sainz, and he's missed the target somehow. Scardo, nice ball through, danger, Boz stepped up, nobody else did, trouble, brilliant defending by the injury hit Flamingo, as now we will come the other way. End-to-end stuff here at the Britannia as Oscarson finds Sainz. Can he put that miss a minute ago behind him? Sainz out to Elanga. And Sainz again, and Oscarson, is he on? Oscarson has missed as well. Well, just over 15 minutes to play. The game's gone a little bit quiet in this second half, but it is still being played at 1,000,000 miles an hour as Quenda does brilliantly pull back, and West Ham restore their lead. Hernandez coming forward again. West Ham looking for a third. Kudus through the gap to Bonnie, and now Quenda, and Bonnie, it's 3, and it's game. And West Ham will inflict just our second Premier League defeat of the season. The early red card from Bassi made it extremely hard work. The game was frantic and open and end-to-end, but with the man advantage, West Ham have taken their chances late on and will leave the Britannia with all 3 points. Well, as we get back to the menus, you see it there. Calvin Bassi, of course, suspended, but the injury for Flamingo, how long is he going to be down for? It is thankfully just a bruise. So that does mean that Flamingo will miss our trip to Goodison Park, this time in the Carabao Cup last 16. But he probably wouldn't have featured anyway, as I will make plenty of changes. With us Competing on 4 fronts this season, the Carabao Cup is the lowest of my priorities, and so far we've had a relatively easy run to this stage after beating Bromley in the 3rd round. So against a Premier League opponent here, we have just beaten them at Goodison a few games ago, but there will be plenty of changes. Come on, the Potters. Juranovic caught out and died down the left. Kanji comes across, but he's got tired legs as that's a big save by Bilal to deny Beto. Tired legs out there in the back line, and we're having to really stretch this squad at the moment with the injuries to the skipper and now Flamingo going down as well. Bassi suspended as Mitrovic opens the scoring. We're having to use the full lengths of this squad, and we're getting the best out of all of our players as Alexander Mitrovic scores goal number 2 of the campaign. First in the Carabao Cup, or maybe 3rd of the campaign. I'm not too sure. But either way, we lead here at Goodison once again. Ayari forward to Million. And was Mitrovic offside there? No, he's on. And he finds Anthony Elanga. And Elanga goes through for 2. And Elanga does make it 2. Stoke double their lead and could be heading to the quarterfinals. Given away by Lewis Skelly. That's pretty poor. And Beto through the gap. And Dye gets there. Big save. Still alive. And Beto takes his time. As Million finds Josip Juranovic. And Juranovic through to Million. This could be the killer blow for Everton as Million Manhoff is denied down the other end. 2 big saves by either keeper. Well, that's going to do it as well, guys. A pretty quiet second half. And Bilal made a couple of decent saves in that first half. The most important, that closeout right at the end of the 45. But we hold on for the clean sheet and we'll be progressing through to the quarterfinals of the competition. My lowest priority, but we might need to start taking it a little bit more seriously as we head into the final 8. Well, as we get back to the menus, let's find out who it is we will face in the Carabao Cup last 8. I'm hoping for either West Ham or Watford, and it is West Ham at home. They, of course, just beat us, but the reason I wanted one of those 2 is you'll see the big teams left in this competition. Man United, Arsenal taking on Liverpool, and Manchester City taking on Chelsea. So 5 of the traditional top 6. But we will take on West Ham, so I'm pretty happy with that draw. Not sure when the fixture will come, but we're just going to jump straight into our next game, taking on Enzo Maresca's Chelsea, who have had a really inconsistent start to the campaign. 9 games played, 3 wins, 3 draws and 3 losses. But as for us travelling to London here, we will have Calvin Bassi and Flamingo both back from injury. And if we want to keep our place in the top 4, we have to keep the teams below us at bay and need to pick up victories against the teams at the top. Come on, the Potters. Oh, Bassi's lost it. Danger! And how on earth has that stayed out? As Bilal calmly gathers the loose ball. It was his mistake that led to the ball bouncing up onto the crossbar, but a bit of a let-off for the Bosnian as he was able to claim the loose ball. As now Elanga comes forward the other way, offloads to Boz, and Gatti looking to come across, lifted into the middle for Oskarsson. It will come for Sainz, who's strong, and Sainz lets fly, and it's a relatively comfortable save for Jorgensen. Oh, okay, lovely skill. Pavard forward to Cole Palmer, and whilst Chelsea might be languishing down in mid-table at the moment, as Gonzalo Ramos hits the post, their team is most certainly good enough to be competing at the top. Well, time for one last Chelsea corner as Cole Palmer swings the ball in. Aarons goes up, it's loose, and I think that was Daniel Vivian smashing that shot wide of Bilal's post. And Chelsea had the better of the first half, but still we remain deadlocked at 0-0. Cole Palmer, dangerous. Little pocket of space through to Gonzalo Ramos, and they're not missing that one. It's been coming. And Cole Palmer, the architect, through to the Portuguese number 9. And Chelsea take a deserved lead here at the Bridge. Oh, it's lovely football. Pavard, danger. Palmer, it's 2. It's not Palmer, it's Alex Biner with the strike. But either way, Chelsea have a second, and I've just not been able to cope with their forward line today. I don't think they're all that at the back, but I just haven't been able to get at them, and they deserve that lead as well. Well, there's the whistle. It's all over, and Chelsea deserved winners in the end. We did not cause enough problems for that Chelsea backline that I don't think is all that, to be honest, but it was their forward line that caused me all the issues today. Winning by 2-0 thanks to Gonzalo Ramos and Alex Biner, but deserved victors here at the Bridge. Well, not a great result for us, that, and our third defeat of the Premier League campaign, and it's so difficult to keep pace with the teams at the top because they are just so electric. But heading into our next game, our attention does return back to the Conference League. 2 wins from 2. And we do feel pretty confident in this competition. I'm not sure we're quite ready for prime time just yet. And maybe playing in the Conference or the Europa League is the level that we're at the moment. But anyway, looking for another 3 points here as we head into match day 3 of the league phase. Come on, the Potters. Asensio waits for Juranovic on the overlap. Nice movement by the Croatian. Looks for Mitrovic. Lovely ball. Mitrovic doesn't miss those. Stoke City in front, as you'd expect in the Conference League. Humphreys forward to Sidibe. Got his first goal for the club in the previous match day. And Asensio finds Sidibe again. There's Sarmiento. Patiently waiting for an opportunity as Asensio lets fly. And he has been a really good pickup. Another goal for the Spaniard on that one with the left foot, and Stoke heading for another comfortable 3 points. Well, it's all over here. Pretty terrible game after the second goal from Marco Asensio, and Lusa never really caused us any threat. We couldn't add any further goals to our 2 in that opening half an hour, but Mitrovic and Asensio with the goals as we make it 3 from 3 in the Conference League. And we're just going to head straight into our next game, back to matters in the Premier League, where we need to return to winning ways as we take on Ipswich Town at home at the Britannia. Come on, the Potters. Free kick for Ipswich. Dinky dinks it into the middle, and Aarons has to be careful as we will play our way out from the back. Not a particularly confident start here as Boz has picked up an early booking, but here we come with Sainz forward to Elanga. Look at the space as Oskarsson finds Diamonde, doesn't get many, but opens the scoring against Ipswich here. I think he scored at Portman Road last season as well. So his second goal against the Tractor Boys. He likes scoring against them, and despite a slow start, Stoke do open the scoring here at the Britannia. Great defending by Diamonde. Pinches the ball back and finds Sainz. Holds it up nicely for Million. And Million driving on. Sainz into Oskarsson. Surely a penalty. And the flag stays down. No flag on Oskarsson, and it will be a spot kick for Stoke. Martson claiming he got a bit of the ball. Referee didn't see it that way as Oskarsson, the Iceman, into the top corner. And it's another goal in the Premier League for Oskarsson. I set him the target of 20 Premier League goals this season. I have no idea how many he's got, but he must be close to double figures. Elanga straight from kickoff. What a run from Elanga. Oh, that is brilliant. And Elanga makes it 3. What a brilliant goal from Anthony Elanga. Straight from kickoff. He just races through. And that little fake shot was unbelievable. Well, it's all over here at the Britannia. That brilliant third goal from Anthony Elanga killed off the game entirely. And if Ipswich had any hope of coming back in that second half, it was killed off by Elanga. Oskarsson scored from the penalty spot earlier on in the first half. And I'm desperate to see how many goals he's on in the Premier League so far this campaign. Let's go and find out. Well, as we get back to the menus, I just want to take a quick look at the individual player stats as we see Oskarsson not quite at double figures yet. One behind Karim Konate, who does have 10 for Man United, but 9 in 11 for Oskarsson, and he's nearly halfway to his target already after just 11 games. And as for Borja Sainz, leading the the playmaking charts at the moment with 8 assists in 11 appearances. And sad times as we see the skipper Bay 4 in 6. He was absolutely flying before that broken toe. But the real concerning thing at the moment is just the 4 clean sheets in our 11 games with Bilal, joint with Unai Simon at the top of the Golden Glove charts once again. It always seems to be those two at the top, but we'll jump into our next game as we take on Brighton away at the Amex. They're having a really poor start to the season, currently sat in 16th place and just outside the relegation zone after, like I say, a really tough start to the campaign. And then we'll close out with match day 4 of the Conference League as we take on Jagiellona. Come on the Potters. Gruda gets it to Adingra. Danger here. Bassi does really well and now strides out with the ball as Bassi looks for Elanga. Nicely worked. Elanga picks out Oskarsson and he doesn't miss those. Against his Icelandic teammate and former Stoke City man, Victor Johansson, he finds the gap and drills it in at the near post on the break. A swift counter. Elanga does brilliantly, picks out the Iceman, and Stoke City lead on the road again. Aleva around the corner for Thuram. Danger. What a save, Bilal. That typical save on the closeout from Bilal has become a trademark of his, and he's so good at it, man. Sainz with a strange pass for Oskarsson, but there's Elanga, and it might work out. Elanga goes down. That's going to be another spot kick. 2 in 2 games for Stoke as Igor brings down Elanga, and Oskarsson will have the chance from the spot once again. Yeah, definite spot kick, that one. Oskarsson going to that same corner. Oskarsson against his compatriot makes it 2. A big goal for the Iceman. He's into double figures now. 11 in 12 in the Premier League. Is he potentially on to reach the 40 club? Well, his pace at the moment would see him fall just shy of 40, but he definitely could if he goes on a good run, as he nearly got away there. For those that don't know, the 40 club includes just 2 players, Lois Openda and Victor Osimhen, and by reaching 40 league goals in a top flight European league. Oh no, oh my goodness, that could have gone anywhere. 40 goals in the league in a top flight league campaign. As I say, only Lois Openda and Victor Osimhen have done it. Openda with RC Lens in the French league, and Victor Osimhen with Chelsea in the Premier League, of course, both in my Glory Hunter save in FIFA 23, and I haven't had anyone join the 40 club since then. Could Oskarsson be the man? Well, Oskarsson's pace will see him hit just below 40 at the rate he is currently going. 11 in 12 in the Premier League, and a much needed clean sheet here on the South Coast as we pick up a big 3 points to keep us in the top 4. But jumping into our final game of the episode, it's match day 4 of the Conference League as we will take on Jagiellona, looking to make it 4 wins from 4 and remain top of the league phase. Come on the Potters. Well, really poor first 45, still deadlocked at 0-0, and we've got to make sure we end off today's episode like we started it, with a victory. And so far deadlocked here. Just got to be patient and bide our time, but it's been a good episode so far. Only 2 defeats, and I don't want to end it with a poor result here and a failure to win. Well, just 20 left to play, still with deadlock. We've not played well today as Flamingo, and Mitrovic misses the target. What a sitter from the big Serb. Well, what a terrible way to end off today's episode, as Bilal makes sure we won't lose the game, but it's going to end 0-0 here in an absolute stinker in match day 4. In the grand scheme of things, it is really not going to make a difference, as we will head through in the top 8. We sort of knew that as a certain before the competition even started, but a really poor display today, and we just did not create anything. But that will do it for today's episode, guys. Loads of great progress, and I thought we might stumble a little bit at the beginning of the episode. As I mentioned, coming back from holiday, not playing for a couple of weeks, but we managed to pick up a couple of good wins and continued our form. Just 2 defeats that has left us sat inside the top 4 in the Premier League and sat pretty in the Conference League as well. Into the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup that should come in the next episode as well. So loads to crack on with as we head into a busy December period. I'll catch you in the next episode very soon, guys. Take care and peace.